Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. So today I'm showing you a really simple project and a really useful one. So this is a little baggie that you can take with you for your forks, knives, or chopsticks. It's a really cool way to practice your sewing, but also a really great result to just keep everything clean, especially if you're using it for food like in this project, then you do want to have everything clean and tucked away. So yeah. You can of course use this for pretty much anything else, but this was just an idea that I wanted to show you and something that I came up with. So yeah, it's going to be an easy project even if you're a beginner. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to need some clothespins, then something to measure with, fabric of your choosing as long as it's not stretchy, of course fabric scissors, your iron, and that's pretty much it. So the prep is going to be very simple. You're basically going to need a band like this one, and this is basically just a piece that you're going to be able to wrap around your baggie. So you just need a rope you can even do, but I'm going to do this band and then I'm basically just going to fold it in half so that it looks nicer, but that's all you need. As far as the main piece goes, we have here one inside fabric and one outside fabric just to keep it a little bit fancier, but you can do just one layer if you'd like to. So yeah, I'm going to show you the shape here. So basically you have here on top the little corner. So if you took the measurement from the bottom all the way to the top, you would have 25 centimeters, and then here on the sides, or not the sides, but the longest bottom side is 45 centimeters. And also you can see here that it's not a perfect triangle, so I did make this little tiny side a little bit more cornery, I guess, so a little bit different. I basically cut off the leftover triangle piece just so everything fits nicely and looks nicely when I'm done. So you're gonna see what kind of effect that has. But yeah, anyway, when you fold this, it looks like this. So you can just fold it and then do the 25 centimeters here and here, then the half of 45 centimeters. And that way it's all the same size. Okay, so let's start with the band. That's the easiest part. So we're just gonna fold the side that's supposed to be the neat one like this. I'm gonna show you. So you're basically folding it like this or to the side, whichever way you like. I'm gonna fold it in half like this so that it's nicer. But you can of course do this in many different ways. You can do bias tape if you'd like, so that's basically folding the fabric from both sides a little bit and then completely in half one more time, so it'll be a little bit tighter, I guess, or a little bit narrower, but it is a different visual effect, so that's pretty much up to you how you want to do it and what effect you would like to get in the end. So yeah, you can do this, you don't have to. You can even use a finished bias tape that you can already buy in the store and then just basically sew it in half or actually stitch the folded section up, but I don't have bias tape with me right now, so what I'm gonna do is just fold like I showed you, and then I'm gonna iron over it to make it look like bias tape. So that's a really cool trick to know. If you don't have any bias tape, you can make it out of pretty much anything, and all you need is a little iron, and that's pretty much it. The only difference is that the bias tape actually goes kind of diagonal when you compare it with the stitch or with the end. So you see on here, it wouldn't go in this direction, it would actually prevent fraying because it goes kind of into the diagonal, so like this, kind of like to the side instead of right across or horizontally. So yeah. That's the only difference, but apart from that, it's pretty much the same whether you do it yourself or not. Okay, so I decided to use clothespins to basically keep it all together, and now all I'm gonna do is just do a regular straight stitch across here, and that's pretty much it. So just a regular straight stitch along the open edge, and that's all you need. Okay, so we're basically done with the band already, and you can see how the stitch makes everything looks nicer and stay in place. And with this step, we're actually done with the band completely, so it's ready to go. So let's move on to the main piece. And here we want both pieces pretty side on pretty side, which basically means that they are facing each other and not you, so they're on the inside. And yeah, what you want to do is align as neatly as possible. You can even pin with clothespins or with regular pins if you'd like. Just make sure everything is in place. And now before you do the stitches, you're actually going to take your band, and we have the one pretty side, so the one we folded a couple more times, that's this one in my case. So not that piece, but the other end, we're gonna put here between these two pieces of fabric, just so it stays in place where we need it in the end when we turn everything inside out, or the right way around. So I'm just showing you how I'm doing it, and that's the easiest way to do it, just on the inside. And then when you do that, you're just gonna align everything nicely. So just take your time with this, make sure everything is neat and in place, because later you're gonna thank yourself that you did this. And then when you see that everything is aligned nicely, you can take your clothespins or even regular pins and just keep everything in place that way. Then we're gonna do a stitch all around here, all the way up until this corner here that we have, then this longest side, of course, completely, and then a little opening is what we need to turn it inside out. So it's the easiest if you do it where your band is, and that's what I recommend. It's going to make everything a lot easier. So we're just going to do an opening there, or skip the stitch, and then we're just going to continue with the stitch all around till we get to the beginning. Okay, so now that we're done, we can turn everything the right way around through the opening. Okay, you guys, so I ironed over everything to make it look neat and just the way we want it in the end as well. So all we need to do is close the opening here, and what I do recommend is that you basically start with the opening, close it up, and you can do this all around the entire piece, or you can just close this section off. That's completely up to you. And yeah, just keep everything in place. I'm using clothespins again, and that's pretty much it. So what I'm gonna do, and this is optional as I said, but I think it's a lot nicer this way, I'm just gonna start at this corner and go all the way across over the opening, but also basically across all of the edges as close as possible to the edge all over, and just follow the shape of the fabric already. So yeah, for now you can leave this bottom side open before we finish that off. Okay, so now that we did this top section, so these two smaller sides, we're gonna do the longest side on the bottom. So for that, we're turning it on the other side, the inside, and then we want to fold the corners like this to the inside. So in my case, this is 9 centimeters. You can, of course, yeah, it's 9, so you can do more or less, but this is the size that you're gonna use for a regular spoon, fork, or chopsticks. Okay, so then we use clothespins again to keep everything in place. Of course, what you need to do is check for your own pieces, whatever you want to put inside, just check if the size works. And I'm going to try my chopsticks as well. And yeah, then when you're satisfied with the size and with the look of it, you can basically do a regular straight stitch just like you did here on the bottom. You want to do that, or on the sides, you want to do that on the bottom as well. So yeah, as you work, of course, just change or take out the clothespin so that it don't bother you, and that's pretty much it. Okay, and then we're already done. So this is basically it. You can put anything you want inside. So pencils, pens, maybe some brushes if you're into painting, or even, you know, crocheting hooks and needles for knitting. So yeah, it's pretty much open to you. I do want to use it with my lunchbox, so I'm putting my chopsticks inside, but also some forks, knives, spoons, whatever you need. So yeah, it's a really cool baggie. It's a really simple project, and I'm just going to show you a couple of different ways what it can look like. So with my size, you can actually fit 3 pieces inside without any issues, so it's big enough. You can of course make this smaller or bigger, so that depends on what you want to put inside and the size of the object, of course. So if you decide to use a different object for the inside, so for a different purpose, just make sure that you measure everything before you finalize your stitches so that you have the perfect size for your needs. And then when you're finished, basically just roll it up, then go around with it with the band a couple of times, and you can just push it to the inside like this, to the other side, and that's pretty much closed off and safe in there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the project. Feel free to let me know in the comment section what you think. If you like this one, you can let us know by shooting a thumbs up, and you can also subscribe to our channel to stay updated with all of our other videos. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!